Welcome to 20 Minutes. I'm Nadia Naqi with you. The latest situation in Gaza, as we all know that there has been a second shelling at the Jabalia camp, the refugee camp that houses a lot of civilians, Palestinian civilians in Gaza. The Rafah crossing has been opened. How many of the Palestinians were allowed to cross the crossing? What's the latest update? All of this with the deputy head of the mission in Pakistan, Mr. Nader Alturk. Thank you so much for joining us. What's the latest situation in Gaza after the opening of the Rafah crossing?
Assalamu alaikum. Thanks a lot for giving me the opportunity to speak to Pakistani people through your local channel. Situation not on Rafah borders, not only in Jabalia, it is all Gaza Strip are suffering. Israelis attack more and more civilians areas, even in the southern area of Gaza. They try to have heavy bombing to cover their entry to Gaza by ground. They face a huge defended in Gaza, not succeed until now to enter to Gaza Strip. They're still in the very near to the borders. They are killed more and more Palestinians because they are destroying huge building in Jabalia, destroyed two neighborhoods in Jabalia refugees camp, killed in the first attack killed and injured more than 500 Palestinian civilians. Most of them are children and women. After that, yesterday they attack again other neighborhood in Jabalia. Many people was injured and killed with Americans bombed, sadly. We still waiting to see what is going to be the update on the ground, because they still try to come inside Gaza. They didn't succeed until now.
We know that the Rafah crossing opening was, the state of Qatar had played its role. So in totality, how would you see the Muslim states supporting the cause and trying to press Israel as well as Israel's supporters for an immediate ceasefire?
First of all, the border is not open completely. It is open only to facilitate the dangerous injured Palestinians who are in the hospitals and they don't have good treatment according to limited resources, and the closure of many hospitals in Gaza because they don't have any resources, don't have any electricity since long time. According to that, the Egyptian with Qatar government facilitate the exit of many of Palestinians injured from Gaza Strip to Egyptian hospitals. On the other hand, the Americans, European, insist them to facilitate the exit of the double nationality Palestinians holding Americans or European passports, and other foreigners working for international agencies to going out of Gaza. I think the number we speak about 600 foreigners.
You must have seen, Mr. Nader, that Secretary of State Antony Blinken is going to travel to Middle East again to continue his diplomatic engagements with the Middle Eastern countries. What are your expectations? What exactly is the US looking for?
His first visit came in the start of this war. He came to give a green light to Israelis to use all the power with the support of Americans, to use Americans' weapons, bombs against the Palestinian civilians. Right now he came to get the results, that he starts speaking about what's going to be after this war, what's going to be after killing and injured thousands of Palestinian children and women. And he tried to plan and cooperate with the Israelis to decide who's going to lead and control Gaza. He mentioned that Gaza can't stay under control of Hamas. And on the other hand, the Israelis don't like to come and occupy Gaza again after they withdrew from it in 2005. So he tried to get the results of killing of a huge thousands of Palestinians by American weapons.
So how is an immediate ceasefire, which is the need of the time, can actually materialize? Because we've seen the killing of Palestinians, we've seen the killing of civilians, we've seen so many children who've been dead. There have been protests across the world. What exactly needs to be done to get this materialized?
To be clear, the speech of American Mr. Blinken yesterday that ceasefire not going to be soon because the Israelis until now not succeed and achieve what they like to achieve from this war and killing civilians, because they only succeed in killing Palestinian civilians, attack civilians' homes, streets, infrastructure. So their war for revenge. So until now, they didn't only kill children and women. That's what the Israelis does in the last 3 weeks. On the other hand, the Israelis mention clearly in their official statements by their defense minister that ceasefire right now by Israelis mean that Israel failed in this war. Israelis lost this war. Israelis not having enough power to continue. So according to that, it does not seem going to be very close ceasefire, even for humanitarian issues or humanitarian needs.
Mr. Nader, what is the situation in the West Bank?
West Bank under attack by Israeli settlers, Israeli army. They keep attack many places in Jenin, Tul Karim, Nablus, Hebron, because they are afraid that the Palestinians there try to be sure that they are not having the ability to do anything in favor of Gaza, to be sure that this going to be the war going to be only in one area, not in different areas at the same time. And that's what they are doing actually even with Lebanon. Yesterday, the Israeli leader said that Hezbollah is afraid after he see what we done for Gaza, how we destroyed Gaza. So Hezbollah is afraid that we're going to do the same for Beirut in Lebanon, and we're going to destroy Lebanon. And from first day one of this criminal war against our people, they said if Lebanon involved in this war, we will take them back to the stone, ages.
Do you believe an immediate ceasefire, or at least, there can be a movement towards achieving this immediate ceasefire can be if Hamas releases all the hostages?
The question, there is no Hamas in West Bank, and it was that since years we are facing criminal attack against our civilians, our people there. And when the settlers, Israeli settlers, killed and burn fire Tormus Aya town in West Bank, Hawara town in West Bank near to Nablus, there is no Hamas there. It was no prisoners between Palestinian and Israelis, a prisoner between the Israelis and. With that, there was attacking our civilians there. So this is only excuse to don't feel guilty when they are killing Palestinian children and women in cold blood. So this is the issue. It is not the hostages, not the prisoners. The issue actually, they try to make Palestinian cylinder give up, and they have a plan to have Palestine to become empty from Palestinians and become only under the control of Zionists. This is the plan. If they succeed in Gaza, they're going to the next stage. This stage going to be damage Aqsa Masjid and build Jewish temple in that place to become only for Jew. After that, and succeeded of that, they're going to transfer the people, Palestinian people who are living in West Bank, to replace them with Zionist settlers. So Israelis never feel enough. They need more and more land with less and minimum Palestinian people. This is the Israelis' plan, and this is a plan actually supported by the Americans, by the silence of the international society, because we are involved in negotiations since 1991 until now, and the peace map, the peace process was need to achieve two-state solutions. The Israelis don't satisfied with two-state solution. They only need to have one-state solution. It is only Israel, no Palestine, without Palestinian people, to be only for the Zionism. This is the Israelis' plan. And actually, always Israelis act as a victim when they are the criminal.
Okay, so as you say that this is the plan of Israel, and we see that it looks like ethnic cleansing of the Palestinians. What are you anticipating? How much more can Hamas put up a fight against Israel that has been backed by one of the best military supports? And as you just mentioned, that whether it is the United States of America or the Europe or United Kingdom, all of them have been supporting Israel. So where do you see how much can Hamas actually fight them?
I'm not the speaker of Hamas to know what they have between their hands and what they are going to do. I'm a speaker of Palestine government, Palestinian legal leadership. So what we are looking for, not more fight. We like to end the clogged political horizon, to give opportunity for peace, opportunity for achieve our rights as a human, as a Palestinians have the right to be independent, to be secure, to have our own independent state with Jerusalem as its capital, achieve and facilitate the right of return of Palestinian refugees, which are suffering since 1948 until now. The suffering need to be ended. So how we can do that if the Israelis since 1991 until now refuse to cooperate with our leadership to get our own rights in peaceful way? Actually, who will create violence is the clogged political horizon by the Israelis, supported by Americans, supporting by British, German, and the silence of the rest of the world when they are seeing the crimes daily by Israel's army, Israeli settlers against the Palestinians, and only said this is right of defense. Right of defense against whom? Against Palestinian children and women, against Palestinian civilians looking for peace and stability, against freedom fighters looking to be free and having their equal right as a human being to have their own independent state. This is double standard need to end. If what happened in Gaza today happened in one of the European countries like Ukraine, they're going to have the same speech, the same silence, or that are human, have the right to live, and Palestinian, Allah created them only to die. This is the question for every human being around the world. We need to have active, strong action to end this madness, stop the Israelis from this criminal actions, put them under pressure to accept the rights of Palestinians according to international law, according to the United Nations resolutions, or it needs to be under punishment like they are punished Russians and punished other countries. Double standard not acceptable anymore from anyone.
Right. So you're talking about what can be the solution, and there is a solution. Do you really think that this could be like Nakba too?
Actually, during Nakba, we didn't get this a huge number of losses. During the war in 1967, we didn't get the same huge number of these losses. And human beings lost, shaheed or injured, or even in damaging houses and destroy the infrastructure. What we are facing right now, it is more than Nakba. It is ethnic cleansing, genocide, collective punishment, crimes against humanity, war crimes. It is more than Nakba, actually. Nakba was stalling Palestinian territories and build a state for Zionists on Palestinian territories. British was generous to give other people land for free to build a state. The question again, why the British didn't give part of Britain to establishing Israel on their own land? Why they will keep the Jew suffering from apartheid in European countries, and why they solve their suffering by build Israeli state, okay, on other people's land? Why they didn't give them part of Europe to build their land there? Why the Americans supporting this, and then it was not, and they are generous with Mr. Trump giving for the Israelis more land, even against the international law in the deal of the century in 2007, when he gives the Palestinians only 12% of the historical land of Palestine. On the other hand, he giving the Israelis 88% of the land, against all the rules. If they are generous, very generous, they can give part of their own land to the Israelis. Why they give other Palestinian land to them? This is the question.
What about the role of the United Nations? How do you see that in the current crisis? We know that UNICEF, UNHCR, WHO all have been, and even the UN Secretary General. The statement is right before you, although there was a lot of witch hunting after that. And, he said he did not, his statement was taken out of context. Can the UN actually play some kind of role in bringing about peace?
What was published today in the media, that one of the high position leader in the United Nations resigned from his position, according that he can't do anything, and he is under pressure by Israel's lobby to take any action in favor of Palestinians, civilians, Palestinian children. Of United Nations organizations are under huge pressure by the Israelis to don't take any action in favor of Palestinians' lives. This is one thing. Second, Mr. Guterres, the General Secretary of United Nations, mentioned that what happened on the 7th of October didn't come from nowhere. It is a result of long years Palestinian suffering from occupation, from settlements, from Israeli violence. Palestine have more than 800 resolutions from General Assembly of United Nations in favor of Palestine. We have more than 85 resolution from Security Council in favor of Palestine, but none of it appear on the ground because the Israelis, supported by the American veto, by the American power, by the American army, by American weapons, by American bombs, okay? And British, on the other hand, doing the same what the Americans do, Germans and some of the European countries are supporting the occupation. On the other hand, they are against the Russian occupation to Ukraine. So occupation is same, case is same. Like the Ukrainian people are suffering, Palestinian people are suffering. Like they are mentioned Russia as the occupied power. Israelis are occupied power. We are suffering since 75 years of occupation. Until now, our suffering didn't end. So more resolution for United Nations is not going to be any changes on the ground, as long as the United Nations don't have the power to make this resolution appear on the ground.
Right. Mr. Nader, do you think that, the kind of mass protests that we're seeing across the world in many countries in the support of Palestine and against Israel attacks on civilians, do you think this can actually somehow press the European nations, and even the United States, because there have been so many protests. Even the Jews have participated in such protests to stop this madness. Do you think it will make a difference? And it can?
Actually, it starts to make a big difference. The people around the world going in favor of Palestine, favor of the blood and the flesh, the bleeding of Palestinian children and women, Palestinian civilians. They go in a huge protest. Whatever their religion, whatever their color, whatever their nationality, even Jews themselves, not only Christians, go out on the street against Israelis, against the Americans, blindly support to Israelis and their crimes against humanity, their war crimes. And they said clearly, we stand with Palestine, we stand with Palestinian people. Their suffering need to be ended once forever. But I don't know what kind of democracy when people in the street in favor of Palestine, on the other hand, the government of the same country are working against the interests of their people, against the willing of their people, and are supporting other foreign power of occupation. And I don't know how democracy is working actually according to that. This is one thing. Americans actually start 4 days before, after this huge protest in all the American citizens in favor of Palestine, start to change their tune, start to change their words. Before, there was said Israel have the full right to defend itself against what happened to it in the 7th of the month by Palestinians, and they deal with all the Palestinians in equal way. This was our said. Later on, after this process, the start speech, Israel have the right to defend itself, but it needs to keep in mind and follow the procedures and order of international law and international humanitarian law, which means the protest of the people in the street make changes, have the power to change the action, criminal action of their own government. So more protest is needed, more pressure is needed, more cooperation between our Muslim Ummah countries with all the lover of peace and stability, all the humans around the world, to make this pressure take good results. What was needed, not only ceasefire, we need to end the supply of American and British, German weapons to Israelis, because this weapons actually used to kill Palestinian civilians, Palestinian children, Palestinian women. It is used to destroy the future of the next generations. It is used to destroy the ability for peace and stability in the region and even in the world as a whole. So this supply of weapons and bombs need to be ended, and it is need to be used in favor of humanity, not to kill civilians and children.
Okay, my last question to you is, what are your expectations, Mr. Nader, as the Secretary of State is traveling to the Middle East countries, and you just said that the Muslim Ummah needs to play its role, that you need to unite for the Palestinians to stop this madness. What are your expectations now from the Muslim countries?
Our expectation, it is a huge, big, our Muslim Ummah is a huge Ummah, strong Ummah, rich Ummah, have a lot of resources. It needs to be used strongly and wisely in favor not only of Palestine, not only in favor of Palestinian people, not only to secure Aqsa Masjid, not only to secure Palestinian people, even it needs to be used in favor of Muslim Ummah, of the humanity as whole. Our message as Muslim, it is peace. The name of Islam came from peace. Islam from Salam in Arabic, which means our message to the world, to the humanity, is peace. So use your power wisely, strongly, to end this madness, to end the occupation, Israel's occupation to Palestinian territories, to use this power to establishing a Palestinian state, independent state with Jerusalem at its capital. You use your power to facilitate the right of return for Palestinian refugees. Use your power in favor of humanity to having better future, not only for us as Muslim Ummah, but for all the human beings, because all of us are brothers and sisters, all of us grandsons and daughters of Adam and Eve. Whatever our color, whatever our religion, whatever our citizen, we are brothers and sisters in humanity.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nader Alturk, for being with us on 20 Minutes. That's all for now. Take care and goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you very much.